Okay, I'm going through the setup. Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows. You have to wait a second because I gotta work maneuvers to go live. Annoying as heck. No, it's annoying as fuck. Annoying AF. Is it program files? Hmm. What is that shit called? It's called Chrome. So maybe it's not program files. Hold on. It is. I cannot fucking believe that shit. I cannot believe that Microsoft is this threatened with Google that it actually took the time to disable Google from their state. Like this shit is just it's fucking crazy to me. Now why can't I can't see or do anything right at this second because I am trying to find this session. Crazy as hell. Now this is weird too because I'm in a open up another window. Oh, guess I don't have to ask that anymore. YouTube.com. The number one grinder. Now, who did I used to hear say that? JT. Hey, Karen. All right, so now I got to the chat, but I can't get to the Zoom. Ain't this some shit? Zoom in 2022 can continue to stay connected this year. Upgrade today and save 25% off your first year. Please wait. Offer ends soon. What are we upgrading to? I want to find the current. This shit has me pissed off now. Can y'all hear though? Zoom in 2022. Yeah, Listen, I had to read it and I was saying, who's the number one grinder? And it came to me. JT. Okay, oh, this is gonna drive me insane to the membrane. One, I don't like the sound from off of the phone into the YouTube, but why can't I see the meeting that's currently in session? I can't open Chrome. The application was unable to start correctly. I cannot believe I did this upgrade, this shit. I just can't believe I did it. Okay, here we are. We're gonna switch to this. Oh, you're so gorgeous. You figured this out. Kind of, sort of. Okay, it's now, yeah. Now this shit is really crazy because all right. So let me, did I connect? Now I don't know where. Oh, I switched. Okay. It's switched. It said switch. So can y'all hear me? This is why I'm saying fuck you 22. I'm just so annoyed. Not truly annoyed, but just frustrated with the way things are. I'm just so annoyed. Okay. So it did the switcheroo thing. Oh, so that meant y'all could saw me before. Okay. Well, that wasn't good luck. Anyway, I took a shower before I came on here. I messed up. Okay. Let's see how that does. Oh, much better. Even though we're gonna have to work on that camera. It is mad close. You know what it didn't ask me? It didn't ask me where it was getting its volume and stuff from. Let me see how it sounds though. Not truly annoyed, but just see, that's a better sound for me. I'm all about the sound. Okay, FU in 2022. What is that about? What are you doing, Mo? Let me just get into it because I'm into it. Just one thing I need to find. Good morning, Glib. First things first, because I had a lot of fuckery yesterday because I put up a community post. And I'm trying to understand folks and not understand folks. So bear with me. I don't know how most of you rock and roll on stuff, but I know how I rock and roll with shit. So let me just break it down again because some of you might have missed seasons 1, 2, 3, and y'all got lost somewhere in the shuffle in season 4. And I'm approaching season 5, and I was talking to folk. Well, I was speaking to someone. Let me just say someone. But I've spoken to a couple of folks individually about me doing my big channelversary event. See, my God, he has a funny sense of humor. Whenever I start to prepare for what is a ritual, it turns out horrible for me. If you don't know, today is January 6th, and it is the anniversary of the day I got hit by a car and I could have died. It's the day that changed my life for so many reasons. So I wake up in my fifis this morning, and of course, the universe is speaking to me. It's not speaking to y'all, it's speaking to me. So I hear what the universe is saying to me, and I take it. I take it, and I'm gonna live with it. So I'm not doing a channelversary. That's it. It's not because I'm still going to have a show on that day. I'm still going to title it Channelversary, and I'm still going to have a discussion with somebody I want to have a discussion with on here. But I'm not doing anything else hoopla-ish about it. I'm just not, and that's just it. Um, that's just it. You got to be rooted in some other shit to really understand some of the shit. Yesterday, I posted a community post. Well, sometime last week, I posted a community post because I saw some stuff going on the YouTube that was surprising to me. But, you know, a whole bunch of new people finally got community posts, right? So maybe this is why YouTube had you work your way to 1,000 to earn a community post so you could use it with some kind of clarity, right? So I'm seeing in my feed, and the feed being my notification feed, because that's where you get it. It doesn't mean that it notifies you. It's just where your channels that you subscribe to stuff sits, at least for me. So in that feed that I'm looking through, which is my subscriber, I want to call it a dashboard. So let me say my subscriber dashboard. In my subscriber dashboard, there you guys are with your community posts. And I'm just like, this why I'm unsubscribing to channels. So I just started unsubscribing to channels because it appeared to me that some of you folks are using the community posts as Facebook, similar to the shit you would do on Facebook. This is not Facebook. This is a video streaming community. So I'm just like, but I can't dictate to folks how to use their community on post. Hey, Zeus Flippy. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, 1 second. I gotta deal with something else. One little caveat. Okay. So I wrote in a community post. Um, I wrote like, y'all using this shit as Facebook, so I don't want to be bothered with this shit. Like, figure this shit out. I use my community wall to advise my community of things shy of going live on the video. And that's really what I wanted it for when I wanted to have it so bad and I wanted to turn 1,000, was really not because of the monetization part of it, because I see the complexities of getting paid on here. The bar has been raised. and I don't have the appropriate following to make that bar attainable at this time. It requires change, concerted change from me, concerted change from the community that I develop, because everything that happens over here is Motown. It's Motown regulated. Anything happens in other spaces, that's regulated by those folks. So in my space, this is Motown specific. That's just how shit is. Um, so quite frankly, when I don't like something, I just make a change for me. Second one, I put a post up yesterday, right? Now you guys may remember I turned negative shit into positive shit for me. So once upon a time, or once upon a crime, depending on how you do it here on the YouTube, I knew this chick that referred to herself as the A. So I was like, that bothers me when the tides turn. And I said, okay, I'm gonna give this purpose. And I took those letters and I gave them purpose just on YouTube. There are things that happen just on YouTube in the social media space. And when I see those things come up, I plan on opining on them. And they are specific to shit that just happens on YouTube. And that's where that series of conversations or live streams or posts or whatever it is going to go in that category, because there was just things that just happen on the YouTube. Because in your real life, you wouldn't expect this from people. People behave a certain way just on the YouTube. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's everything less. So the post yesterday was specific to women behavior and what, according to the meme, what real women do. And I just made a comment, except for the ones just on YouTube. Just on YouTube, they're the opposite of what real women do. From my perspective, a real woman's weakness is her kids. Think about what was generated in that post. Her weakness is being broke, but she doesn't have a weakness to some damn dick. It depends on what stage in a woman's life you find her at. I find that to be factual. So I pinned it up there and I said, just on YouTube. That's the exception. On YouTube, a person's weakness is not their kids. Their weakness is this child right here that birthed their fucking channel. You birthed it. You grow it. Being broke, not being able to make money on this platform. I ain't made none yet. So I'm broke. But what it is not no YouTube penis. Now, based on that breakdown, is my post aligned with my thought processes? Absolutely. I was going to come out here, make a whole video surrounding it. That's why I use the community wall as an introduction to the discussion. And what do I get? I get Yvonne writes in the comments. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yvonne writes in the comments. Then I listen. I'm not even going to get into it. But again, another instance of shit that just happens on the YouTube. I was going to go into this whole thing about Salt-N-Pepa and their song, What Is My Weakness? Men. I was going to have a whole discussion about it, but it got so sidetracked because the emails, the discussion points, that everything after that was just as if I was speaking about somebody specifically on here and someone's lifestyle or their new um, plot and scene for 2022. Fuck you. I don't give a damn about script writers. We've got now a whole community has now told us we write scripts. They just went into 2022 in full production mode. And you can look around here and see it. You had a man tell y'all last year, I I put some fake shit out here just to see. I write scripts. You got people. I was in a text dialogue and like, yeah, I'm not doing that right now because I'm producing a movie. Did you see the trailer? So I'm like, oh shit, no, I didn't see the trailer. Now it's full disclosure out here. I'm glad that people are taking the unbelievable and saying to us now, it's make believe. And I'm going to take this lifestyle that we constructed on this YouTube and make it into some fictitious bullshit. I think some of you are truly miserable and you seek entertainment in the weirdest ways. But if this floats your boat, I'm all for you enjoying your life. What I'm not gonna do in 2022 is pretend no more with you fucked up people. I'm just not gonna sit up here and go along with the fuck shit and be like, oh, okay, that's one for the road. No. I'm going to distinguish myself from you guys or separate myself from it all the way. Some things happened at the end of 2021 that bothered me to the core. And it bothered me because there was no compassion out here whatsoever. It bothered me because I was saying I hedged a bet on you motherfucking Christians. I sure did. I bet on the Christians and you lost. You guys disappointed me, you Christians disappointed me so badly that I just went into silence mode. I didn't even know how to articulate what I was seeing or not seeing from you motherfucking do-gooders. Johnny Two Shoes, good, two up, two down motherfuckers. I just couldn't fucking believe it. So I was, and in the name of God and in the name of giving and all this other bullshit, I was just like, these are the most fucked up people I never did meet. Because that's what it is. I never did meet most of you. I don't ever plan on meeting any of yous that are in this box. I do plan on meeting some people here because it's long overdue, but nah. Y'all strangers in a mess. So keep writing your scripts. Keep doing the shit that y'all doing. I am hoping that you reap what you sow. But I'm so fucking done with y'all. Like, I'm just so fucking done with it. I sat up here and I watched a video the other day, which included Logic. And this is why I've lost respect for folks. But I don't even know how to say something to other folks because the shit just gets really weird as time progresses. Y'all can't even keep it real when you've made up with people. See, this is the shit that really fucks with my nerves when dealing with you folks. Y'all can't keep it real when the beef is no longer. So the question is, when you was beefing, was you lying? Or was you really, who were you then? Like, which person should we accept people as being? Who they are today, who they were yesterday, or who they may be tomorrow? This dude sat up there and was like, I just, you know why I don't want to speak on the specifics of it is because I don't feel like engaging in argumentative chatter with people who don't matter. But these are all the reasons why you don't matter to me. Cause it's like you motherfuckers don't even know how to keep it real. Like, I would respect a person's grind, like the grinder says, more if you kept it fucking 100 some of the time. All of the time, most of the time. People made videos out here uh convincing the community about other people's character. Then they reunite with them, right? And they're on a platform with them. And they can't even honestly explain what they did against that person and tell you the truth about it. Yo, that shit just was like mind boggling to me. Just mind fucking boggling. And this is day one of the new year, 2022. This is shit they should have done in 2021, just so you get it out of the air. Not that there was any beef that went on or whatever, but it's like, how do you sit up there with somebody knowing that I'm not going to use the word docs, knowing that you made videos. I'm going to call it exactly what you did. You made videos describing someone's home. So the question is that really, or was that really? Well, it's no questions because you motherfuckers are happy with each other, right? And now I can understand why some people might be a little bit dismayed by the activity around here because this shit is not functionable. Like you don't even know where to go. So when someone says, well, subscribers are confused as to what side to take, because then you motherfuckers make up and then you stuck in this middle area. No, I'm not stuck in no middle area because I made decisions for myself. Who's stuck in the middle area is these phony motherfuckers. When they show you who they are, believe them every time. You don't have to believe them the first time because they're going to do the same shit the second time and the third time. So my slogan is, when they show you who they are, believe them every time. This is just the more stepped up version of a fucked up person every fucking day of the week. It never's going to change. It just is never going to change. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn peace treaties. It's, well, maybe it was a peace treaty because motherfuckers was in pieces up there. When I'm looking at the shit, I'm like, um, devastated. Yeah, pieces. Anywho, I just, I'm just like, and a person's like, I did this, I did that, and I'm sitting up there saying, how could you sit up there with a straight face and not um discredit though that misinformation. Or call it out and say, okay, listen, you do remember I did a video about blah, 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 blah. I don't know what, only thing I can tell you, Karen, is what 22 may look like for me. And I came into 2022 my goal for discussions on the platform for this month was finances, right? When I did my outline for the channel, I was going to come up here and talk about finances, and I had a little list I made, because you know that's what I do. I made the list on the 4th. And I was going to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Because people ask me how I use my planners. Folks have said to me, incorporate me in your planner things. What do you do with all those books? Some bitch said I sleep with all these books, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate time to discuss that. And I was gonna come in here, 2022 financial goals. Let's make some. Get yourself a book. You know, I got my little book right here. This is my financial planner. Let's begin to make some financial plans for 2022. First thing you need to do is review your credit report. Have you not pulled your credit report? So I was going to spend an activity pulling your credit report, getting your credit report, scheduling a call with a financial consultant after you've reviewed your credit report. Because what are you going to contact a financial consultant with if you don't have any foundation? I'm of course engaging in first time home owner discussions. Appears that some people around here may already be steps ahead of me in the process, but that's what it was. And the 401k options. I'm looking back at my 401k because now I have something called an HSA account. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but there's FSA and there's HSA. So each one of those are like a medical spending account, and you get to put money in, defer money from your paycheck every pay period to go into this account. A FSA you must use in a year that you have it, but an HSA is a unique account. It rolls over at the funds. So each year to year, instead of having to be like a FSA, lose it, use it or lose it, you're in a use it or invest it. And that was the first time I heard the discussion about taking your HSA excess money and investing it. Not the same as whatever you people were doing with your, or maybe similar, but it's more managed investing. It's not the same as going on whatever app y'all going on and buying whatever stocks y'all buying or whatever. So those are the discussions that I wanted to move towards. So that sounds like a little bit more maturity than just the shit that happens on the YouTube, just on YouTube. And that's where I plan on going with my discussions for 2022. So many of you may not see yourself in that circle of discussion. And I understand it because you're not there yet. But you're welcome to listen from the bushes that y'all like to live in. Those of you who want to come in and be more comfortable, you know, I always have a lounge up there and it's prepared to accommodate. But that's what I wanted to really focus on for this month in terms of like getting to know you and evaluating what it is you want to do, because that's where I'm at with me. What I find hard to do on this, because of who my following is and the environment of followers being so toxic, that you really can't go in depth over here as my fellow YouTube channels over in other spaces can, and go in depth. I watch videos where people put their whole finances out. This how much I had. They be stuffing their envelopes and everything else. You can't do this over here, because if I stuff an envelope, I it becomes envy. I went and I purchased one planner, something I really wanted, and it became a focal point. It became where people, how you pronunciate was an issue. Like, all I was doing me, and it became an issue. It's just absolutely bizarre. Honestly, bizarre. Most of y'all, I was gonna make a joke yesterday, and I was like, so I went to the supermarket with T early this month, right? I don't remember what day it was. Whatever day. So it was Monday morning, actually, because in New York, we went food shopping because there was supposed to be this storm that was gonna come through. Apparently it hit some sections of Jersey. What sections, I don't know, but it looks like it got further down I-95, and it was a mess, depending on who you speak to. But I was in the supermarket, and the supermarket was empty. So T was like, Mom, is it not the first of the month and the supermarket is empty? And I was like, yeah. I said, well, you know what, T? Maybe they're recovering, right? But you know what? I should have thought about this. The reason why it was empty the first of the month is because on the third is because everybody got their money at the end of the year, because um if the first falls on a weekend, they got their money on the Friday. So they probably was shopping till they dropped on the Friday, whatever it is. So it was nice and pleasant in the supermarket on Monday. And I was like, oh, stuffing. That's why they got their money earlier, or they're broke from all our holiday spending, all that holiday stuff. Um, that's what I was thinking. That's what I told us, thinking. Um, so they repping the poor life right now on the third, so they can't go into the supermarket. Then I saw something interesting yesterday. Beach went into a store and she felt a vibe or something, and she flew out of the damn store. And I was saying to myself, this is the year of finance. That's what it is. Finance. Get your finances in order, period. You're going to hear some people come up here and tell you that the Lord is blessing them and showing favor and all this other stuff. He does. He does that. He shows each person favor, but it's with discipline and purpose. That's where I'm at in my stuff. If you believe that I'm trying to trample in this cesspool any longer, all I can tell you is watch my moves. Watch my moves. Watch my moves. Um, and that's it. The character of folks around here is showing. If you gotta say to yourself, I'm positive, I'm so positive, that's because you're negative. And you think if you speak it into the world, it will define you. No, you're negative as fuck. You've been called. You know it. That's why you keep saying, I'm positive, I'm positive. Happy New Year's to you, Sakina. Um, get your finances in order. Get your finances in order. Coming off of, and I'm not sure if we're really coming off of this this pandemic. It's setting precedent now because we seem not to be able to move forward out of it. And the only thing that's going to be stable right now is what you do with your finances. It may seem bleak if you do not have a job, but in order to obtain finances, you got to work towards the things you do not have to get them. So if your first stop is you need to get a job, then you need to be working towards that. And it needs to be a goal in order to get your finances in order. Because in order to have financial security, you got to have some kind of income coming in. Um, that's why for those of us who all have this YouTube space, right? It should be profitable. You should be able to make something out of this other than it being a hobby. If you're, as I am, spending your money on this, it's a hobby. It's a vice. Consider it a drug. Consider it, yeah, as addictive as being a marijuana head or any other head. That's what this is. So in 22, I'm saying fuck you to all the shit that y'all think should continue from the previous years. I'm not, I'm just not that into you. I'm just not that into that stuff anymore. It's so beneath me. I'm so tired. Sakina did it this morning. She's like, hey, Mo, MOE. And I'm so mad when I see that MOE. But right now I'm considering that MOE to me money over everything. And that's what I plan to do this year. Talk about my money over everything and how I'm going to try to make my money work for me. I'm going to make the money, but I'm not going to let the money make me. And that's about it. I got the joys in life. There's always some setbacks. You have no idea. They come and go. I'm dealing with young folks dying now from this COVID. Young folks. When I'm saying kids, I changed their diapers. Kids, I walked to school. Kids, I made social programs for in the community dying. This is not, it's so crazy. Dying with 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, these little kids, their parents are dying. We have a whole generation, we got a whole new generation of kids coming up with no schooling because the schools are in shambles right now, with a lack of schooling and then a lack of parents because this disease came and took them out. It's crazy. Finances is the key to everything for me this year. And that's what you're going to see me focus on with my little planners and stuff like this. Revolving debt. It's a shame though, because you need the stupid ass revolving debt to Glib, are you still here? Interesting enough, in my feed over the weekend, I was watching something. See, no heat. This why I don't use heat. Because I use clips. I was watching one of these YouTube channels, and it was focused on credit scores in Asia. So I don't know which country this was, but I'm just going to say in Asia. Did you know that their credit score Um, their credit score is determined by the oddest shit. So they, if all right, so you know how we have jaywalking laws and stuff right here. All of your personal behaviors are also factored into your credit score. Um, it was it was an interesting uh, thing I was listening to because it also described luxury products. And you know, because I bought this Louis Vuitton this year and some Gucci stuff this year, I decided to have a bigger conversation with myself. And that bigger conversation, hey Yvonne, that bigger conversation was what is luxury? And because some of you folks on here was calling shit high end or whatever, whatever. No, it's more than just social credit. This is how their credit, this it was an interesting breakdown. I think it was on PBS. I'm gonna go back through my feed. I'm gonna send it to you to look at. But it was mind boggling to me that you can get a lower credit score based on your personal behaviors. So like all that stuff factors in your credit worthiness. And they also penalize in this Asian society and Asian culture. They also penalize the wealthy. And you want to hear how they penalize the wealthy? This is what they said. The wealthy cannot show off. So in this account, they were talking about social media and how the wealthy and their spoiled ass kids right now, because they've made hand over fist with money, how they were now exploiting themselves on social apps, right? And how they cut that in half or cut that out, period. So they pulled some, and this was reality shows, what would be reality shows for us of kids acting poorly or showing their wealth and stuff like that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me call you back in 5 minutes because I do gotta talk to you. All right. So they were showing their wealth, just hey Noble. They were showing their wealth and doing all this stuff about having their money, and yo, the shit was crazy. So this is what they said. They penalize the rich. They can't show that they're rich and enormously rich because showing richness makes the people less fortunate anxious, and then they want more, and they cannot afford to have the people at the bottom wanting what the people at the top have. They want you to feel comfortable in being poor. Now, does that make sense to you? It makes absolute sense to me. This is based on my life experience. Having lived in poverty, the projects, right? Having lived in, for some people on here who like to make snide comments and shit about it, I have no regrets about where I've been or where I've come from because I, Monica Mo Justice, know who I am. And I'm proud of everything that I've become and everywhere that I've been because it shaped me into a more reasonable person. Some of you bitches need to go and find a more reasonable person in you. That means you need to live some real life. So, having lived in the projects, I will tell you that my happiest moments was in poverty. I didn't have no kids in the world.
My apartment was going to be there at a reasonable rate, not anything that I could not swindle or pull off. My children were going to eat no matter what, because trust you me, if my refrigerator even looked somewhat empty, I had a neighbor next door that was willing to share their last with me. There is so many positives that I can tell you about being in the lower income bracket, but being in this middle class, middle income bracket, it's torture. You're the one that everyone's weight is on you. You pay more. I looked at my first check pay stub for this year, and I paid out over $1,000 in tax related shit. That's crazy. I work and a whole $1,000 just went somewhere I don't even fucking understand it, or can't even redeem it, use it. Crazy as fuck. Just crazy as fuck. So there's got to be a way. That's why I'm scheduling an appointment with my financial consultant, because I was looking at this and I'm saying there has to be a way more of that $1,000 could stay in my pocket. And I got to have the conversation with the right people to make that happen. Because that's just crazy. If every time you get paid, you're going to give over $1,000 to something else. I was sitting here looking at it, I was like, oh, because, I never really look at the gross and the net. I just, what am I getting? But I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck? Some got to give here. Um, but I know there was happier times. There was just happier times for me being in the world than being in this world. Anyway, I'm gonna do what I do, get on my high horse. It's almost a couple of more minutes to when I got hit by the car. Um, so I'm gonna go do those things that I do in memory of I could have died then. Why am I still here? Because I got a bigger purpose. Hopefully, this will be the year I make it happen for me. I make it happen, Captain. Hopefully, this will be the year I walk away from a lot of the mess, the inertia, and I really begin to shine in in my what is rightfully my time. But I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. So hopefully um I'll get to where I need to be. And I hope that in this journey, this phase of the journey, I maintain the good relationships that I'm fostering now with the people I'm fostering them with. Keep me wholesome this year. Help me stay on focus with my topics. Um, I got plenty of them. That's why I got journal. So just keeping it there. Tomorrow we'll be back in the evening to discuss the sentencing of the McMichaels and see what they got. I'm gonna come back. I already discussed this on John Frank's platform, but I'm gonna discuss the case with the guy who got 100+ years that the governor reduced. Well, yeah, because that shit just is driving me crazy that the governor reduced his time now to 10 years, whatever. And I'm like, what are y'all gonna do when they go arguing to give Kim Porter time and she doesn't really get any time? Kim Porter is a taser cop who probably is not going to get a good sentence as you guys want. right? She's got this Asian um judge. So we got to see how it plays itself out. You got the prosecutors who have to compel the judge to sentence her. They had to file Blakely, and this is how I'm looking at it from my perspective. They had to file a Blakely claim to get her to do more time, which is probably going to, if it passes, will get her to do any time. Will be because of the Blakely, which is saying her acts was so egregious to the community that it was not just her shooting the dude in the car, it's everything that happened afterwards. It's when the car uh shot out of hell and hit the couple, the older couple, the elderly couple in their 80s inside of the van. People you never even hear about unless you watch the trial. Because this whole time I've heard of this case, I heard nothing about his car hitting into another car. The fact that those officers, including her, was so immersed in what had happened and what her consequences may be, which is what she ended up with. They did not seek medical help efficiently for the people that was injured. They didn't even provide communication with the officers down at the other end to lessen their activity. You know, you pulled this car over. You know there was only two people in it, driver and the passenger. But when that car spiraled down the road or shot out of hell down the road and hit into that embankment down there, you had those officers who are now introduced to this for the first time, unable to approach the vehicle because one, now they've heard shots were fired, and number two, they were like, there might be a third person in the back. You heard them several times calling for additional aid because they could not see if there was a third person in the back. You guys had stopped that car for about 5 minutes. You knew there was no damn third person in the back. Hold on a second. real life. This is Mo, and I'm gonna go. Nothing like real life. Speak to y'all later.